Hey guys, happy Wednesday. We're here to talk to you about what a processor does. So with us, we have Clancy Gibson, Star Processor. What does a processor do?
Well, a processor is going to take over the loan process from the loan officer once the loan reaches conditional approval. So you've submitted your initial documentation and you've gone through the initial underwrite and you're approved, so to speak. But there is still some additional information that is needed, so that's where I come into play. Provide that clarity to you, communicate with the underwriters, and make sure that we have as smooth as possible process to guide you over to closing.
So what kind of tips do you have for me if I'm a client looking for a really smooth process?
Well, what I would say to you would be to make sure that you're not moving a bunch of money around in the middle of the process. There's always a high chance that we're going to have to ask for additional bank statements throughout the process. And if the underwriter sees something like a $10,000 deposit in there, they're going to have to ask where that is coming from for their compliance, for reasons regarding the Patriot Act, just to make sure there's no funny business going around. They have to make sure everything is coming from a legitimate source.
So if I was a client who just purchased a home, I feel like there's a lot of off-the-wall requests coming through. What would you have to say to those documents coming through and why they're being asked of me?
Honestly, I think that a lot of the requests, I agree, they're off the wall. Why are they necessary? I shouldn't have to provide this. The reasoning is there's just government guidelines that we have to follow, that the underwriters have to follow. There's compliance issues. If they're asking for it, it's a requirement. There's usually, a specific reason, but without an example in front of me right now, I can't really kind of speak to that. But we're not going to ask you for something that isn't absolutely required. But for me personally, if I think something looks like it's unnecessary, before I'm bringing it to you, I'm double checking with the underwriter first.
Awesome. If there's one thing that you'd want your clients to know from your point of view, what would that one thing be?
Well, kind of to touch back on those off-the-wall requests, I don't like asking you for those things. If it makes your life harder, it makes my life harder. So just please try not to fight with your processor too much. That's going to be the biggest thing making it a more difficult process. So if you're just providing everything as quickly as you can and understanding that I don't want to ask you for this either, it's just required, then it's going to be a smoother process for you overall.